There are many, many questions here on the table that relate in some form or fashion to the issue of economics and/or jobs. One, voter rights. There has not been any economic growth in Powder Springs in the past 20 years. This voter is not talking about permits for business licenses, but wants to know about brick and mortar businesses. You as candidates, especially for mayor and those with opinions running for council, what skills do you bring to the position you seek that will bring more real business into this community?
One thing we've already done, we've hired an economic development director. Stephanie has done a good job. She's going around and logging the property that's available, so when a business comes into town, we can tell them where's available property. We can tell them where there's available buildings. We're not going to go out there and, I hate to say this, and it may not be very politically correct, but we're not going to build a business for an entrepreneur that's coming in. I mean, you come, she helps you with your business plan, she'll help you with everything, but the businesses have to come in and do that. Mainly we just have to keep the city attractive. We do have small business grants the city's working on through the DDA, so that is something we're working on. The opportunities are there. Somebody said brick and mortar. I don't know how many of these are brick and mortar, but if you want to look at growth, last year we had 37 homes built. This year so far we've had 70. Last year we had 89 business permits, and this year, and I guess it's July, so that's what, 4 months, 5 months? We've had 89 business permits. Now some of these are brick and mortar, some of these are taking over businesses and offices that are empty, but I agree, small business is a tough situation, and a lot of small businesses fail. I think Stephanie's working with them the best she can to try to support them through the city, but it is a tough situation as a small business owner. Thank you.
Excellent question. Now, we can talk about the grants that are available all night, but if it takes a business 6 months to get a permit, then we're not going to attract companies here. On our own website, it says that we have 200 acres of land to develop. Why would I want to come to a city to buy the commercial land or to repurpose the current that is vacant if that bottleneck up at the City Hall exists? There's a barbershop applied October 2014, did not get it till May of 2015. There are some people that have come to take over businesses, but they're treating like they're not being grandfathered in, and so they're being treated like a new building, and it's wrong. So why would I, as a developer, come to a city that I can't get anything done, and that I'll be constantly nickel and dime over and over? It's wrong. So until we change that, we can forget about any sort of expansion.
It is true, Powder Springs has not been business friendly. First thing we would have to do is streamline the process of folks doing business in Powder Springs. A lot of developers steer away from Powder Springs because there is a stigma attached to Powder Springs that it is difficult to do business in Powder Springs. I do think the first step has already been taken, as Chris mentioned. Last year I had a ward meeting, and I talked about hiring an economic development person. And our current administration said we couldn't afford one. And I said we couldn't afford not to hire one. And shortly after that, they said that we need to do this, and we did. We hired Stephanie, and she's doing a great job. The thing about where Powder Springs is, I don't know if you all know, the University of Georgia did a study for the city of Powder Springs free of charge. And it talked about businesses that would do well in Powder Springs. That study is sitting on the shelf somewhere catching dust. So first of all, we must create incentives for businesses to come here, streamline the process so they can do business here. We must look at the prices that we are charging folks to come in to even apply for a business license. So there are a number of things we need to do, but we have not been business friendly, and that's where we need to start. We've already hired an economic development person, so I think, and as she mentioned, Powder Springs has a unique advantage. Out of the 6 cities in Cobb, we have buildable space. So Obviously, if we can get our economic development, a point person on the ground, she's already working. She's trying to create an incubator, trying to get these small businesses out of their homes. So we're doing training, we're having people come in to talk to them about how to get small business loan. So she's working, but she's kind of working with her hands tied. She's not sure what she can do and what she can't under the current administration. That's part of the problem.
To the way that we do our permitting processes, so that people feel like they're creating a partnership with the city instead of feeling like roadblocks are being put up in front of them, so that things get moved along more quickly. I know that we've started small business outreach programs where Stephanie meets with the small business owners to help them with their businesses. I know that we've just commissioned a Living Communities Initiative study for the downtown area, which will, once the study is completed, will give us ideas and tell us what kind of businesses that we can bring to our downtown area. So we do have things in process, and I think that if we can get those things going, then I think we'll get some more economic development here in Powder Springs.